with Adobe Spark, but this is one option that you could use for an end of the year slideshow presentation that you could share with your students. If you are not familiar with Adobe Spark, you go to spark.adobe.com and you're going to click Start Now or Sign In. Either one will work. There is something that you will need to do. When you get to this page, don't continue with Google or anything right there yet. You're going to want to log into your school account. With your school account, you're going to have access to all the premium features and things like that that Adobe offers for educators and students. So log in with school account, and then here, once you get to this page, you can click Continue with Google, and it should pull up your enterprise ID, and just click on the enterprise ID and it will log you in with your school account. So just make sure that you are signed into Google under your school account, and it will let you log in to your account for free. I'm gonna hide this screen real quick. Okay, when you get here, it may look a little bit different the first time you log in. I've already created some projects and things like that in the past. Your creative project may be up in the right corner the first time you log in, but to create a project, a new project, you just click Create and then go down to Video. I had one that I was working on, so I'm going to click on Projects, and I just was creating this test video today. So some of the pros with Adobe Spark is it is pretty simple and there's not a lot of gizmos and gadgets with Adobe Spark. However, there are limitations with that as well. So if you're wanting something more robust and can have multiple songs, lots of that type of stuff, Adobe Spark is not going to be for you. You are going to want to use like iMovie or one of the other platforms that we show you today. So just to get started, I created a slide deck down here. I was playing with it to see how many slides I could have. I have over 100 slides so far, and it says that's fine. So to add more slides, you just click on the Add button. Once you are on the slide that you want, you just click wherever there's a plus button. That'll tell you what you can add. So if I click on the plus button, I can add a video or a photo. And when I click on this, you're going to want to connect either your Google Drive account where you have photos, or Google Photos, or Dropbox, or one of these options down here in order for you to get your pictures off of your Google Drive or Google Photos. If you're using an iPhone, I know there's some limitations. It doesn't recognize the iPhone, so you'd have to convert your iPhone photos to Google Photos in order to be able to use those. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I have some pictures in my Google Drive. So I will connect it. And I think you have to do that every time you connect it. It doesn't automatically just save your connections. So I've connected before with Google Drive. So now that I'm connected, I can go back to Photos. I can go to Google Drive. And it's going to search. Let's see, I think I have a folder called Photos somewhere as it's loading. Let's see if I... So there we go. So I have my photo. I can go ahead and select it. It's going to add that to the background. With the first slide, you could add a text box as well that says, oops, Mr. Peterson's class, something like that. Once you click on it, you have to click off of it, and then I can drag and drop it where I want it. I don't know if you're going to want to record your voice, but you have the option to record your voice. If you're just doing a presentation, slideshow of the year. You probably don't want to record your voice, but you can change the time that the slide will be on. So if you click on the 3 seconds, I think its default is 2 seconds. So if you want that slide to play longer, you just move that up. It will go all the way up to 30 seconds, but probably between 3 and 4 seconds would be sufficient for each slide. This is going to be a little tedious because you do have to go through each let's see. Let's see if I can add another. So let's see, I add this photo. So you're gonna have to go through each slide and add a photo. So there's no way to just import a bunch of photos at once. So it does get a little tedious, but it will work. You can always play your video from the beginning by clicking this play button. Kind of show you what it looks like. So you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like over the course. If you want to add music, they already have some music on here that is more instrumental music. So if you wanted to add your own music, you'd have to have it downloaded to your computer and then you could add your music. However, again, you're only going to be able to add one song. So I don't know if it's worth it to add your own music. I think they have some nice transitional music or music that you could use. But if there's a theme song that you used in your class and you wanted to add that, you can do that by adding it there. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and just click on the share button. You're going to click publish. It does make you choose a category, so just choose education. That stuff you can change if you want, and then it's going to create a link for you, and that is the link that you will share to your students and your students' parents. And whenever you make a change, so it's going to create a link, and this may take a while because I had over 100 slides, so we'll see how long it takes. But whenever you create a link, it's going to create the link for me. Say I go back and I make some changes, I'll click that publish button again, and I can just update the link. So the link will never change once it creates it. So even if you share it out to your parents and your students, if I go and make changes after I share it, all you have to do is go back to publish the link and update the link, and it will keep that same link that you already shared the same. So again, this is one way to do it. It's going to take you a little bit of time and effort, but it'll make the video look nice and have that professional quality. However, it just doesn't. It's just going to take a lot of time and effort because you can't import more than one photo at a time, as well as only having one song. So, are there questions about Adobe Spark? And again, this is free for students too, so students can sign in that same way that I showed you at the beginning, and they can create their projects on here as well, which is kind of fun for them to create some of these things. So if there is no questions, or if there are no questions, I'm just going to stop sharing.
Hey, Miles.
Yes.
Do students need to have Adobe on their computers to be able to run the slide?
Good question. This is all web-based, so they don't have to have an app or anything. They just go to spark.adobe.com, and then they have to sign in through that same way that I shared with you earlier.
Was the question to view? You mean to view it or to create it?
To view it.
Oh, to view it, yeah. Sorry, good question. To view it, they just click on the link. So it's about. My link is almost done creating, and again, the longer your thing is, so I would just copy this link, and I will. Let me see if I can click off of that, and then I can just paste it on in anywhere, and it's still preparing my video. But all they have to do is copy that link or click on the link, and it will play the video. They do not have to have any special software or anything to play the video. So
Miles,
yes.
I don't know if I've tried this, if I haven't made one long enough. They said you can add more songs. Yes. If the video runs longer than one song, will it just repeat, or can we add a second song? I've never tried that, so I don't know if anyone else out there knows.
I've never tried it. I think that only that song will play, and I think it will repeat. But I've never made a video longer than probably 10 slides. So that's something we'd have to play around. But I don't see anywhere where I could add another slide or add more music.
I think this is Pam. I think it will keep looping. If you wanted to have more than one song, you'd need to create that track in another like online audio editor.
There you go.
Like,
there you go.
And create your whole, loop, the whole track that you'd want to add in there, and then save it as an MP3, and then you could upload that. So it's a little more work. I'm trying to think, I can't think of the name of that audio. The one,
Audacity.
GarageBand.
Most people don't have a Mac. You could do that if you have an iPad.
Audacity.
Audacity, right? So if you have Windows, there's a program called Audacity. We'll put that in the chat, and that's where you can add as many as many audio tracks as you want, and make it as long as you want, and then just export that from Audacity as an MP3. We could help you do that, but I think that's the only way to do it with Spark.
And there's another one that's really easy that's web-based too that I use called Audio Joiner. Super easy.
There you go.
Stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, let's put that in the chat also.
So those are saved. Good. All right. Thanks, Miles. I'll stop this recording.